It's the end at the beginning.
Those vegan guys. Thank you.
Hello, beautiful people. I thought it was about time for another kitchen vlog. Actually, I must confess, I've lied. Yesterday, whilst I was talking to my very own best friend, Miss Mary Margaret Stewart Crowther, I said, I'm doing a kitchen vlog this afternoon. And then I didn't. There was no particular reason for that. I suppose there are many reasons for it. We're all going through the same thing at the moment. Yesterday, it hit pretty. I know all of us, every single one of us, is going to be kind of financially affected by this. But Stuart and I have lost just next month, just from Vegan Queen gigs, £700 in April. May, probably even more, because that would have been when our Pride gigs started. And the really annoying thing about all that is that for the last 2 years we've worked our asses off as the Vegan Queens and really got a name out there for ourselves, and I just hope that we can get that back when all of this is over. We also found out yesterday, as you will realise when you get to the end of the video, the end card will be shorter and our video asking you to check out our merch will not be there. Our merch, unfortunately, will not be available for the foreseeable future. Vegan Original have been as affected by this as everybody else and are unable to fulfill orders, and so that's another, albeit a very small financial stream, and I'll be brutally honest, anywhere between £20 and £50 a month. 50 on a really, really good month. It's still £50 a month. So, and of course, you know, a few of our patrons have had to stop being our patrons, and I completely understand that. And please understand, all of you, if you are a patron, and we will not be offended if you stop being. It's tough for us all at this time. And so, you know, the only, other than Jason's wage at the moment now, the only other stream is YouTube ad revenue. It ain't great, honey. So that's the personal doom and gloom over with. I mean, by the way, this is kind of, for those of you who are new to the channel, or even those you have lovely established subscribers who don't kind of get these aren't just about vlogging for me. They're not just about, it's kind of like an online diary that I absolutely don't mind sharing with my friends, basically. So my observations over the last couple of weeks, as many of you know, I watch a lot of news, although it becomes very repetitive. I am starting to pull away from it. I'm trying to just kind of limit myself to an hour or so a day of news. I will do that. I will absolutely soak up an hour of news every day because I want to know what's going on. You know, I want to know that Trump is still personally attacking reporters that ask him valid questions and quote him verbatim on what he says. He hates that. He hates being called out. I like to keep an eye on the fact that, you know, the UK didn't sign up to the procurement deal with the EU, which would have ensured that as a block, you know, like if 12 people go to a restaurant, you're probably going to get a little bit of a discount because 12 of you have gone. and you're going to be guaranteed good service because there's 12 of you. It's, you know, it was all about banding together as the EU to buy ventilators and testing kits. And our government has lied and said that email went amiss and the communication, and they would have took part had they known that they could. And yet we had representatives in 8 of 12 meetings about exactly that. And then you've got Gove saying now that we can manage. We don't need the EU to do this. We can manage on our own. So we haven't got enough testing kits, and then the government cite lack of a certain chemical, an aggregate or whatever you call it, chemical, and then the Chemical Works kind of head organisation in Britain says, we've got loads of that, but you haven't asked us. So there is a lot of crap going on in politics, and to any of those people out there, especially on Facebook, who do the whole don't talk about politics at a time like this, get a fucking brain. Seriously, this couldn't be more politics. If you try, who do you think is leading the fight against it? Politicians. Using what? Politics. It's like, look, if you want to be the kind of person that doesn't pay attention to what's going on in the world, at least own that and say, oh, I can't be bothered thinking about it, me. It's too much for me. But have at it. If you know, great. Own that. Say that. Don't say, this isn't a time for politics. Because you can't be bothered to gain an understanding of what politics actually is, and it affects every single thing you do. Even in the bedroom, honey. So yeah, getting sick of seeing those kind of posts on Facebook, and I see that Facebook is a good mirror of society, to be honest with you, and it's a good reflection of the group psychology of what's going on. And within a couple of days of lockdown, people were already saying, you know, oh, this is madness, when is this going to end? And it's like, you haven't really truly mentally prepared for this, have you? It's like you've just kind of, you really have to think things through and think that this could be till June. This could be beyond June. You know, I was very not pleased, because that's the wrong word. This is going back to the Vegan Queens. Stockport Pride, which we would have no doubt hosted this year again, because we had an amazing day there last year, has been cancelled. It was set for July the 26th. I think we're going to start seeing that a lot now, because the Edinburgh Festival has just been cancelled. The Olympics have been cancelled. And yet I'm still seeing these little vegan festivals in May and June advertising as if they're going ahead. And we have had an email from Vegan Camp Out to say that fingers crossed all will be well by then, but I wouldn't be counting any of those chickens until they're hatched. Backyard chickens, of course. It's a very scary time for us all, and so you know this. I'm sure you know this. As I said, I'm using this as an online diary. In no way am I trying to worry you or upset you or bring you down. I'm just discussing realistic facts of what has actually happened with our government and the American government, and the real possibility that this might be for a lot longer than any of us are expecting. And so, as I say, Facebook is like a really good place to get a good understanding of how people are feeling and thinking at the moment. And there's a hell of a lot of fear out there. You can tell that, I know this sounds really random, but you can tell that by how many people are sending group messages. You know, the whole friend thing. I'm sending you this because you're a lovely friend, pass it on, see how many you get back, that kind of thing. It's like validation. Do I still matter? Am I still important? I don't need that. Personally, they annoy me, those things, so I don't interact with them. I also don't interact with the tell me 10 things about yourself, 20 reasons you hate the world, 15 questions about your childhood. And I'm sure that they're lovely distractions, but what I'm trying to do at the moment is make sure my mum's okay, at a safe distance, regularly. I'm trying to contend with the fact that my husband is now working a full day's work, 9 till 5, in my drag room, and of course I can hear him having phone calls and video conferences and such, and I have to be mindful when I go upstairs in my home, and making sure that we have enough. We are still going out every few days, well, maybe let's say 4 to 5 days, for some foods, because I'm not prepared to go without fruits and vegetables. And when we get back, we go through the most, what some would deem, ridiculous decontamination process, because I've paid very close attention to streets and rooms and hospitals being sprayed with disinfectant because of the virulence of this virus and how it sticks to things. And that's been said about clothes and hair, and so when we get back in, we are clothes in the washer, straight in the shower, clean clothes on, wipe down the washer door, the door handle. It seems a bit of overkill, and I'm hoping it keeps us safe, because there's now talk from health experts. Some health experts are saying that the range of this as an aerosol may be much more than 2 meters, and so that's not necessarily a safe distance for us to stand in. And I hope that they don't quote that one as fact. That one was just read this morning, and I hope it's one that they conclude is actually, no, it is 2 meters is a safe distance. So how are you doing? How are you guys doing? Are you coping okay? You would think I would have been on the exercise bike more, being at home. Nope. I've been very much focused too much on the negative outcomes of this, because financially crippling, emotionally crippling as well to a lot of people. I mean, if you're thank goodness I live with someone and have a husband that I can hug every day, because it's only at a time like this. Well, no, I've always known how hugs are important. I'm a very huggy person. Usually hug my mum every night when I go down, give her a kiss and a hug good night. Haven't done that since way before Mother's Day. Stuart at least once a week or once a fortnight, and of course all that's gone. But these are the things we're all dealing with. We have a roof over our head, we have running water, we have power, we have food in the cupboards, and we have each other, and that makes us extremely lucky. And I think you have to kind of do that glass half full thing more. If you don't do it at all, then now's a great time to start, and if you do it, I think we have to do it more than ever at this kind of time, during a kind of an international, a planetary, a global crisis like this. We have to be so thankful for those little things. So I am extremely thankful for this outlet and for being able to chat to you guys and to have you respond with me to say, we've seen you, we've heard you, and here's what's going on with us, or however you choose to interact. This is important. All of the aforementioned, what we deem in the West as basic commodities. My stammer is randomly coming back on really random words. I was talking to Stuart last week and I couldn't get a word out. I think it was an S. It used to be P's and W's, but it changes. So I think it was an S with Stuart, and I was like, oh, come on, don't take S's off me. I'm alright most of the time, because I consider what I'm going to say before I say it, and I've learned to just avoid certain words that used to kind of trip me up. But now and again a word comes along and I stammer and I'm like, hello? Who are you? And why did you do that? That was rude, honey. So yeah, wash your hands, you know this. Decontaminate yourself properly when you get back indoors. Stay indoors for as long periods as you can. I hope you're okay. I hope that you won't be too financially hit by all of this. I hope that you're not allowing yourself to be too emotionally hit. Don't forget, we've still got each other. We can still chat. I'm not doing the whole... I still keep seeing a lot of vegans around, you know. It's all about bashing these days. Bashing veg, bashing Frankie, bashing vegetarians. I'm just like, if you're on any part of this journey towards veganism, great, well done. Get to it as soon as you can. You need to look into the egg industry and the dairy industry, you really do. It's not just about meat. But as veggie myself for a lot of years, some of the family members that I, you know, love are still meat eaters. I talk to them about things, but I don't preach at them, and I would never turn my back on them. I think we have to be kinder. All of us, actually, not just vegans. I think we have to be kinder. If we want to be in a kinder world, you can change so much with kindness. And, you know, without... Well, you can just change so much with kindness, can't you? Still call someone an arsehole when they're being an arsehole. Just don't dwell on it, man. You know what I mean? We have a tendency to do that in this world, not just vegans. Now, I'm generally speaking. We give way too much attention to the negative, and then the positive just fades away into the background. But, you know, there was a girl on Facebook last week, did a live video on a bus complaining about the government shutting down all the leisure facilities. They'll get the leisure facilities back open. Before you knew it, 100,000 views. Because everyone was saying, oh, you're such a moron, you're such a... Why do we do that? Why do we I don't. I see it so much in other people that I avoid it like the plague. I never want to be a negativity magnet, and I don't want to dwell on it, and I don't want to give it a pedestal, and I don't want to give it more attention than it deserves because it's negative. Hence the words I just said. Hence the words I just said. Anyway, yeah. Would anybody be interested in seeing another puff pastry plat vlog, because I've got an idea for one. Oh, it's filthy. I've kind of mentioned it before in a live video, but now I'm like, I kind of want to do that. But it would be, actually, I was going to say then it would be only really a suitable puff pastry plat to serve with salad, but no, a load of vegetables as well. Would be gorgeous with it. I'm not telling you what it is unless you tell me if you want it or not. Of course, a lot of the things that we had planned have had to be put on the back burner. We can't go out and review restaurants. We're certainly not going to be filming in supermarkets at a time like this. We're certainly not going to be doing any collaborations unless we can work out how to do them digitally. I don't want to be holding my mobile phone up like I did with Stuart last week. So yeah, you know, things have changed, but we're trying to be a constant for you guys and for ourselves, because, you know, as you know, we both love this. Perhaps me a tad more than Jason, although he might protest that. So right, I'll keep it a reasonably short one today, and I shall say thank you so much for watching. Sorry about the morning. This is during lockdown in the UK, in case you're watching this in the future. This was filmed on April the 1st, 2020, during the midst of a UK-wide lockdown in fact in many parts of the world because of a global pandemic called COVID-19, which is highly contagious, and we're all guarding against by locking ourselves in as much as we can. Otherwise you might be seeing me in a right nice restaurant with somewhat gorgeous, but not today, Christine. Anyway, nearly drunk my coffee. Thanks so much for watching. Glad I got our vlog done today. Let me know if you are up for the puff pastry plat and whether you'd be interested in a live video soon. Hopefully throughout the video I've thrown other relevant things up there in the little eye, so you can click on that, and all the videos I've that I would like you to watch, as well as this one, are up there, or if there's anything kind of relevant. I'll speak to you again really soon. Until then, of course, be excellent to yourself and each other.